was 13, but for my birthday, the cousin who gave me that name and remembers me saying it better than I do, decided to have some meme on Facebook, and it was lost on me at first, and it's like, oh, cat on a motorcycle. It's like, okay, I guess it works for you. Hers just an anecdote, but it's like, no, it's more than just that to me. It's a whole story I can tell now. All right, now for the regularly scheduled jokes. Yes, I have an agenda. It's what I write down in advance. That's how I stay on track. I like going to the Trial on Micro Cinema because they show classics, and this month they're showing Hitchcock films in honor of his 125th birthday. And this past week, the one that I saw was called Strangers on a Train. For a long time, I just knew it as the movie that Danny DeVito was watching in the movie Throw Mama from the Train, because one inspired the other. And yeah, it's a Hitchcock film. It's pretty good. And it reminded me of when I watched another one when I was in high school called The Birds, and the teacher wanted to point out to us how Hitchcock likes appearing in his own movies. And in The Birds, it was walking dogs, and in Strangers on a Train, he takes this musical instrument onto the train when the main character leaves. And it's like, yeah, I saw it, and it's like, I correctly guessed where. I looked it up on Wikipedia after the movie was over. I'll probably see another one in this series. Because I like Cary Grant, he did 2 of them. All right. I like baseball, so that meant I went to St. Paul Saints this week in my first game of the season, and we were playing the Iowa Cubs. And the memorable thing from being there, besides it being a little windy and how the Saints lost, was I saw this little kid passing by crying, bawling, and I'm thinking, well, yeah, the Saints are losing, but I'm not crying about it. Yeah, I know the kid wasn't necessarily crying about the game. The kid was probably just tired or didn't get its way. And then the notable thing before that was when I wanted a quick lunch, because I'm cheap and I usually don't buy a lot of food at the stadium. So I stopped at a Speedway gas station, and I was bummed that they didn't have sandwiches, so I got a slice of pizza, pretty good pizza. And I made that observation verbally, how, well, pizza looks good, except I'm bummed that they don't have sandwiches. And I heard the cashier say, yeah, we're out of sandwiches. You don't listen very well, do you, dude? You just parroted what I just said. And then same dude checks me out after an employee getting an employee discount probably, and he felt the need to school me about the difference between a supreme and extreme pizza. And it's like, yeah, it's a good thing you don't expect tips here, because you're definitely not getting one. You're just annoying me on wanting to correct me. I remember that happening on dates before, where there was a lady that wanted to explain the difference between a violin and a fiddle, and it's like, who cares? Some people are really weird out there, and some people think I'm the weirdo. I will admit to being a stodgy academic or a little nerdy. I'm the type that will go to events just because I hear about them on the news. Thankfully, it's more than just if it leads on news. Because I distilled it down to what is quite likely to make the news. Whatever attracts a crowd. At the end of Friday's Fox 9 news, they had a segment about the Royal Canadian Circus performing next to Maplewood Mall. And it's like, I haven't been to that circus, why don't I go? And I like a good deal. Yeah, I already said that about the pizza at Speedway, how I'm kind of cheap. When I Googled the circus, I found out that there was a half-price ticket available through Groupon. My first time buying something through Groupon. That made it a lot easier to go. Who doesn't like being thrifty with money, stretching dollars? to a circus till I was an adult, and it still seems hollow when family wants to explain why I didn't go. And it's like, too much traffic, it's too far away. Circus doesn't cost all that much. And not a good one. Oh yes, I'm the bank employee, so that means tails from the bank, like tails from the crib. That river's not running dry anytime soon. Earlier today, I do a dial-in meeting, and pretty early on, it's like, why did I get invited to this meeting? It's all this technical stuff, and I print checks. So eventually I just sent an IM saying, I'm leaving the meeting. If anything changes with the check printing, let me know. And I stayed on it longer than my vacation replacement did. I stayed on for 15 minutes, and the time allotment was 60. Yeah, I had more important things to do. I don't think anybody really cared that I left the meeting either. And they're still throwing out a lot near me. And I ended up claiming some party god napkins, I guess a tiki party thing. And it's like, well, it looks pretty cool. I hate having to use the napkins, but eventually I probably will if something spills. I mean, what else can be said about that? They were meant to be used. Well, I guess that'll do it for me. Thank you all, been great.
Woo!